Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I'm Ryan Bowling. Thank you all for joining me. Well, the ball is falling harder on my boy Kanye West. Maybe I shouldn't say my boy Kanye West because I was never a follower of him, But I agree with some of the things he says, but a lot of things I don't agree with. And what I'm talking about is, I'm pretty sure you're all aware of it, and I've been following this topic for several weeks now, is some of the alleged anti-Semitic things that he have said, that, or rather, where a lot of people have purported it to be anti-Semitic. Now, he, in an interview, he made the statement that he could say anti-Semitic things and Adidas wouldn't drop him. Those were his exact words. First, he said, I can make anti-Semitic statements and Adidas won't drop me. First, before I even get into the portion of this article, first, when you say something like that, what you're telling the people is that you are aware that you're making anti-Semitic statements. That's what you're saying. When you make a statement like, I can make anti-Semitic statements and Adidas won't drop me, what you are saying in an indirect way is you acknowledging that you're making anti-Semitic statements. How do you think that's going to fall out for you? Well, I'm about to get into this article because they dropping him. Let's see. Adidas announced Tuesday its business partnership with billionaire rapper Ye. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right or what. Okay. Formerly known as Kanye West is over. The German sportswear manufacturer issued a statement outlining its reasons for ending the commercial relationship. It read, Adidas does not tolerate anti-Semitism and any other sort of hate speech. Kanye West's recent comments and actions have been unacceptable, hateful, and dangerous, and they violate the company's values of diversity and inclusion, mutual respect, and fairness. I don't think it's all that. It's the fact that he said what he said. It's not about inclusion or anything or diversity. I don't think all this, quit with the diversity and inclusion stuff. Let's just say what he said was hateful, because when you say diversity and inclusion, we talking about this transgenderism. That's what comes to people's minds. Come on, man. Quit with all that. But anyway, after thorough review, the company has taken the decision to terminate the partnership with Kanye West immediately in production of Yeezy branded products and stop all payments to Kanye West and his companies. Adidas will stop the Adidas Yeezy business with immediate effect. Adidas further detailed this would have a short-term negative impact of up to $246 million on net income in 2022 due to high seasonality in the fourth quarter. As Breitbart News reported, pressure on Adidas from the public and its own employees to cut ties with Kanye West has been building after he said on a podcast on October 16th, I can say anti-Semitic things and Adidas can't drop me. Now what? Why would you say something crazy like that? Now, everybody knows that in the past, Kanye West has come off as oftentimes saying things that were unhinged. Everybody knows that. But to say this and think that Adidas is not going to drop you, to say these type of things, and then, like I said in the introduction to this video, to basically acknowledge that you're saying anti-Semitic things or the way certain people perceive it as anti-Semitic, you basically acknowledge that you think they're not going to drop you? You think that's not going to have an effect? This is what makes me wonder if he's under mind control. And that's a whole nother story in of itself. But the article goes on to say, calls on Adidas to end the relationship came from at least 3 legal organizations as well as anti-racist groups. The Anti-Defamation League pressured Adidas to cut ties with West following the performer and fashion mogul's series of public rants in which he targeted Jewish people. In a letter last Thursday to Adidas executives, the Anti-Defamation League head Jonathan Greenblatt expressed dismay that the athletic apparel company had yet to officially disassociate itself from West, whose Yeezy line of footwear is made in partnership with Adidas. Adidas began working with West in 2013 and in 2016, signed a deal to manufacture and distribute items from his Yeezy clothing line through the company and around the world. The move to sever ties Tuesday came 24 hours after one of Hollywood's biggest talent agencies, CAA, said it was dropping West. Get this now, it gets worse. Film and TV producer MRC said it was shelving an already finished documentary about West. We cannot support any content that amplifies his platform, the company said, according to the Los Angeles Times. Other leading figures in entertainment, including Endeavor CEO Era Emanuel, called on all companies to cut ties with him. And then it says the company previously said the partnership has had, quote, a tremendous impact on its business and is one of the most successful collaborations in the history of the industry. So collaborating with him, it is shown to be a very prosperous thing. So this may be a risk on their part to cut ties with them. But the way they see it, their imagery is being tainted by supporting him, the way they see it. Adidas fell 4% in morning trading in Frankfurt after Bloomberg reported earlier in the day it was planning to end the partnership. And that's the end of that article. But this is crazy, man. This is just crazy, crazy, crazy. Like I said, I felt the need to follow up on this situation with Kanye West, because the thing is this: when you make broad statements, and I said this before, when you make broad statements about a group of people, you can expect to get offended by it. Now, he said some things that I did not agree with, okay, because he made broad statements. It was one particular, what was that conservative analyst and commentator, I forget his name. He's Jewish himself. I don't know, I forget the man's name. Please forgive me for that. But he's Jewish himself. I cannot remember the man's name for anything. I tried to look his name up. I cannot even remember his name. But you guys know what his name is. Leave the comments in the comment section below. My apologies for that, because I don't listen to him a lot. But the times that I have gotten a chance to, Ben Shapiro, that's who it is. Just remember, isn't that crazy? Ben Shapiro, yeah. I think that's how you pronounce the last name. Yeah. He's coming out saying things that are like, he's feeling like he's being attacked right now too, because he said something that I agree with. Ben Shapiro said, and I thought the same thing, that what Kanye West, although he can be, people can respect him for taking a stand in what he believes in, you have to watch what he's saying, because when he made the statement that he's coming after Jews and he's giving a generalization, Ben Shapiro was basically saying you're generalizing as if all Jews are guilty of this, and that's where you causing problems. Because Ben Shapiro made a comparison. He said, that's like me saying that black person over there and generalizing that black person who's acting negatively with all blacks. For example, when I talk about certain aspects of black people, I always try to specify a certain segment of blacks, usually within the ghetto areas, that have a certain negative pathological mindset. And that's what I usually try to do. I usually try to decipher those groups of blacks from the general populace of blacks, because I believe that that's a minority, okay, of blacks. I don't believe most blacks act that way, okay? But I always try to separate the two, because the ghetto aspect of the black life is what's promoted the most, and people tend to think, unfortunately, not all the time, but unfortunately, that all blacks are that way. The same scenario here. Ben Shapiro is basically saying that the statement that Kanye West made was a generalization of Jews, and that this, in so many ways, and I'm paraphrasing Ben Shapiro's words, this is what he called Nazi propaganda, to get people in an indirect way to start hating on Jews. Because this is how it started in Germany. Hitler and his propagandist ministers began to push propaganda out that Jews were evil and were no more than vermin. And they would show videos, movies, I believe, where they would literally show, and I'm not making this up, they would literally show rats scurrying across the base of the walls of buildings. And then they would associate the rats with the Jews. In other words, saying that the Jews were nothing more than rats, vermin that needed to be eliminated. And this stuff was shown to the public. It was propaganda. It was designed to brainwash the public into hating the Jews so that it'd be easier for Hitler to kill them in mass. Because if you hate them, if you think someone is nothing more than vermin, you're not going to do anything. You're not going to try to protect them. And this is what Ben Shapiro was saying. He believes that what Kanye West is doing in generalizing his anti-Semitic views, the way he sees it, is putting that stamp or that stain, if you will, on all Jews, which could lead to people within the country hating on Jews in general. Okay? But either way, the way I see this is, and I'm in agreement with that, he has to watch what he said, because this is what is happening, is that Adidas is dropping him. So that's it. You made that statement. You think we just going to sit by and wring our hands because we had a good partnership with you. We making a lot of money off of you. Well, the way it seems like to me that they're thinking is, well, if we keep promoting you and if we keep selling your products, people are going to start saying, well, we don't want to buy from you guys because you guys are supporting this guy here who is anti-Semitic. He's anti-Jewish. We don't want to support you. We don't want to support him, and we don't want to support you. We're not going to buy your products. So they're thinking about the bottom line as well and their reputation. So therefore, they're like, let's cut ties with this guy. So this comes back down on him. Can he stand this storm? Can he stand the fire? All these people are dropping him. We don't want to have anything to do with you. We don't want to have anything to do with you. We don't want to have anything to do with you. And here's the killing part. Groups that are non-Christian groups. Okay, I'm not going to name the groups because that's not the purpose of this channel. But these are non-Christian groups that are siding with Kanye West and saying, hey, for example, Kanye West made the statement that, blacks are Jews anyway, from the 12 tribes of the Jews anyway. And I ain't gonna go into all the details of it, but that's what he said. That's what he said. So a particular group, religious group, is like, yes, thank you. That's right. That's what we are. And this particular group, this particular religious group, believes that the current Jews are false Jews and that they are the real Jews. And they hate, they despise the current Jews. This is what this group, I'm not making this up. Not going to name the name, but you probably know what I'm talking about. And for Kanye West to say what he said, in that reference, and to look at it from a long perspective and not think about what he said, what do you think? So now they're coming out and supporting him, saying, yeah, you're right, man. So what is that doing? That's stirring up more division. More division. Here's another thing that I see. I see the marks of Marxism, pitting groups against each other. Now, I'm not saying that Kanye West is a tool of Marxism, that he's being used by the Marxists, but who knows? Who knows? I don't agree with what he's saying. These are generalization statements. I don't agree with what he's saying. And the way he's saying it, he needs to watch what he's saying because people are dropping him. And you got groups that are, in my opinion, hate groups that are in support of him. And now you're going to have all this type of stuff coming out. Now you got all kinds of groups trying to come out. All this division, man, I think is manufactured. All this division is by design to some extent. And who's to say that Kanye West is not a tool of the elites to cause more division? Because to make that statement, well, I can say anti-Semitic things and Adidas won't drop me. Now what? What was he thinking? Or was he thinking? I don't think he was thinking. Maybe he is under mind control. That's another story and another video on its own. But what do you guys think about this? What do you think about Adidas dropping him? How's that going to stand with him? Is he going to be able to survive this? Is he going to go completely broke? Who else is going to support him? If all of these companies and businesses and things that he's had league with, who else is going to support him? Because in my opinion, a lot of groups and people on the conservative side are not going to support him, because the things that he's saying tends to tend to breed anti-Jewish rhetoric. When you make a generalization like that, that's what it tends to breed. And I don't think a lot of conservative groups are going to want to support him, or conservative organizations are going to want to support him. Then what is he going to do? Is he going to go to the church and ask them to support him? In a situation like this, brother, you're going to need the Lord. If you're going to really need the Lord. So what do you guys think about this? I think this is manufactured crisis for a bigger picture and summing this up. But what do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to this channel. God bless you all, and see you again.